Alright, how you doing? Welcome to the next video in the Soldier of Fortune 2 New Edition series. In this one, a couple of things to show you. I've thrown together a quick UI based upon the UI from the original game, but don't worry about how it looks just now. First of all, we get all the code working, then we worry about how it looks and make it look good. So, let's have a little look. So, new loading screen. Okay, so just basic stuff just now. So if we go into the options, we've got a couple of options for player info, clan name and player name. If we go into keys, we've got all the basic movement and weapon keys, and it's configurable so you can change it. So if we can change that to D, yes. So nothing in display. In sound, all we've got is the background music volume. So all we've got is the sound, the keys, and some basic player info, and that's all we're going to have. I'll throw in a few other things for before I release the first version of the game, but it's just the basic stuff just now. This button here is going to have a list of mods. That's the parental lock from the original game. That's where you're going to have your loadout, so you can select your weapons. But let's have a look at create server. So there's a number of different ways that levels are loaded in the game. First of all, there's the levels that I create, which will be kind of hard coded into game. You can't modify them, you can't add to that list. And then there's going to be levels. The game's going to have an SDK released with it that people can create their own maps and mods. So all the maps that you make, you'll be able to add them to the game. So if we create a server, we've got options here that are passed to the game when you start it. If we select a map, in fact, will we do this just now? I'll quickly show you the join server section. So, two types of server, LAN and internet, and two types of internet server, IP address and Epic Online Services. Epic Online Services is a kind of free system that Epic provides for people who use Unreal Engine to make their games. It allows you to create an online session and people can connect to it. There's other stuff as well, but I haven't done the coding for that yet, but I will do that, and that will be an option. You can create LAN sessions which are confined to the local LAN, so they're not on the internet. The way Unreal Engine works is it sends out, when you attempt to find sessions, it sends out a packet to all the computers on the LAN, and if any of those computers are hosting a sessions, they reply. But the packet you sent out is what's called a broadcast packet. So anyone who knows anything about TCP/IP networks will know that that packet doesn't go beyond routers, and so it's only in the local LAN and it's not on the internet. So I went deep into the code of Unreal Engine 5 and added the functionality to be able to specify a specific IP address rather than the broadcast address. So in theory, and it's quite difficult to test when you've only got your own laptop, you can search for sessions in any IP address, so in theory that's anywhere on the internet. So that's what we want for the game. We want people to be able to create LAN games, but also to specify an IP address so they can connect through the internet. So that should be working just now. But what we're going to do is just now we're going to use LAN sessions. So hold on. There's a couple of things I want to show you in a single player, so it's not a single player, but with one player. So we'll create a server, map Jordan, create a session, and it goes into a lobby here with some server information, a list of players, and a chat. And then we'll launch the game. Shows you the familiar loading screen that we remember from the original game. And then into the game. So we've got a basic UI, health, armor, some of the stuff you've seen before. And there's a couple of other things I wanted to show you. So in the last video I showed you the knife, and when I threw it against the wall it turned into a physics object and dropped to the floor, and I said I wanted to change that back to sticking in the wall. So just to show you, I've fixed that, and then I'll pick it so you can pick it. So one other thing I want to show you is we now have ladders. So all I'm going to do right now is push forward and push back and push back and push forward. Oh, maybe bug there, I'll fix that. So you can also jump onto the ladder, move up, move left and right off the ladder. You can jump onto the ladder, turn around and jump off. And if you really wanted to, you could jump backwards onto the ladder. Right. So we have ladders. I think that will be done with it. So in-game UI. Basically I'm making it the same as it was in the original game just to get everything working. So in the about section, information about the server. Admin, we don't have anything yet. Player, I'll show you in a second. Options is the same option screen that we have for the main game. We don't have a vote section, and exit is exit to the main menu and exit the game as it was in the original game. So in player we can spectate. Oops. And you can move about as a spectator. You can't pass through walls just now, you can't clip through walls, but I'll fix that. And then when you can ready to go back, you can join the game again and back as the. So that's all I wanted to show you within the game. I'll now show you crash. I'll show you a couple of things with more than one player in the game. So on both of these windows are clients, and we'll set up one as the server. So we'll select the map, hit create server, that will create the session and go into the lobby. Into the other window we'll find sessions, and it's doing LAN sessions just now. Finds the session, double click on it and it'll join. So as you see, there's two players in the player list. They both got the information. The IP addresses appear to be different there, but don't worry. I see what's happening there. Instead of using the server IP there, it's using the local one, but I can fix that. Go to the chat, and as you can see, it appears in both windows. One, the client has waiting there, and the server has launched, so we'll launch the game. There's a funny thing that Unreal Engine does, that when a game window doesn't have focus, it doesn't update as often as it should. It's kind of slow a wee bit, so you're going to see that effect here. So on the right hand side we have the server coming in, and the numbers on the left here are a countdown to the time limit, which was 30 seconds. Onto the left window we set focus there and it comes in, and if we press tab, we've got a tab screen showing you the different player information. If we stay on the one on the left there, you see the numbers on the one on the right aren't going down as quickly as they should because it's not got focus. So that's if we set focus to the right window, it fixes it. Once it gets to 0, there'll be an end screen. Time limit hit. Shows you the results of the game, and time to next map is 25 seconds. The end screen should come up on the window on the left, but it hasn't, but I'll fix that, don't worry. What did I say? Again, it's going slow because that window doesn't have focus. And the time to next map is out of sync, but don't worry. So the one on the right, time to next map is 0, waits a couple of seconds, does what's called a server travel, and brings both client windows into the level again for a new level. And it would do that on a score limit too. So change focus to that map, that window. Right. So there you go. So there you go. We now have a working UI, basic, but we'll get it to. It will be enough for the first release of the game. As I say, don't worry about how it looks just now. Get all the code working, and then we'll make it look good. I am going to do a proper modern UI that's Software themed. I'm thinking, red highlights for the red team, blue highlights for the blue team, and based upon the artwork from the original game, but it's a more modern design. So that's the plan. So moving forward, I have to do the third person animations. I'll probably do that next. That probably won't take too long because they're just going to be copies of the first person animations retargeted to the third person skeleton. I don't want you to worry about the getting things set up the way it is just now. Is just to get a first release of the game out so that we can see how it plays, because that's the main focus of the development process just now, to see how it plays. That's what we're focusing on. How it looks and all that sort of stuff, don't worry about that, we'll sort that later. Primarily, we want to make sure that the game plays in much the same way that the original Soft 2 did and is as enjoyable as the original Soft 2 was. That's the main focus just now. So, I also want to improve the look of the Jordan map, add in all the crates and that sort of thing that I didn't add in previously, and update that for the first release of the game. We've done the server code. There is going to be a dedicated server, but right now we're working on we'll keep it with the listen server, local server, so don't worry about that. But that's basically it. So that's the UI done. A couple of things to fix, but not to worry. And next video, it will be the third person animation. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you see we're getting there. Thank you for watching, and until next time, see you later.